He was loved by his people. His smile lit up the court. His brother trusted him with his life. And yet this very man stirred poison into his own brother's cup and watched him die without a flicker of regret. What could drive someone to such betrayal? Was it greed, fear, a thirst for power, or something even darker, something born in the shadows of a royal childhood? Today, we're diving into one of history's most disturbing royal crimes, a tale so twisted and chilling, it became legend, whispered in castle halls long after the crown had passed hands. Who was this king? What secrets did he bury with his brother? And how did he manage to keep the blood off his hands for so long? This isn't just another royal scandal. It's a story of ambition sharpened into a weapon, where love turned into rivalry, and rivalry into murder. In an era when loyalty was a mask and ambition ruled the night, one brother made the ultimate move for the throne. But here's the twist: this wasn't a heat-of-the-moment crime. It was planned, precise. A royal assassination hidden behind silk robes and silver goblets. And it nearly worked, until the truth started to leak. They were born just 2 years apart under the same roof, taught by the same scholars, trained by the same swordmasters, princes, heirs, brothers. At first, they were inseparable. The older one, charming and diplomatic. The younger, fiery and fearless. Together, they made the perfect royal duo destined to rule, the other to defend. But kingdoms aren't built on brotherly love. They're carved out by ambition. And soon, the cracks began to show. The elder brother, let's call him Alaric, was the crown prince. Polished, patient, always one step ahead in the political game. But behind his serene smile was a man obsessed with legacy. His younger brother Tiber was the soldier, brave, bold, and loved by the people for his raw honesty and fearless heart. As they grew older, whispers started floating through the court. Whispers that Tiber, not Alaric, was the people's favorite, that he was the real leader, the warrior king they needed. Some nobles even began to support him quietly, seeing in Tiber a stronger future. That's when paranoia took root in Alaric's mind. What if his own brother was preparing to claim the crown? What if the love they once shared had become a threat to his destiny? And the court wasn't helping. Every feast, every council meeting, every military victory added fuel to the fire. Tiber was unintentionally stealing the spotlight, and Alaric knew it. Soon, their conversations became colder. Private meetings grew tense. The warm glances of childhood faded into suspicion, and what once was brotherhood is becoming strategic silence. Then came the turning point. A rebellion in the north. Tiber led the charge, won a stunning victory, and returned home to a hero's welcome. The crowd chanted his name louder than Alaric's. That night, Alaric didn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling, not with admiration for his brother's triumph, but with dread. Each cheer for Tiber sounded like a drumbeat for his own downfall. That was the moment the thought first crossed. His mind, not fully formed, not yet real, but deadly. What if the only way to keep the crown was to remove his brother entirely? He didn't speak it out loud, not yet. But once that idea took root, it began to grow and it wouldn't let go. Alaric knew swords left witnesses, arrows left trails, but poison? Poison whispered. It erased. It vanished without warning. It started with a physician, a foreigner, recently welcomed to court, whose loyalty could be bought for the right price. Alaric approached him under the guise of needing remedies for stress. In truth, he was searching for something silent and lethal. The physician gave him a clear, odorless, and tasteless vial. 1 drop is mercy, he said. 2 is a message. Alaric studied his brother's habits. Tiber had a favorite Winia deep red from the eastern provinces, sweet and heavy. He drank a goblet each night before sleep, and every night, the bottle was uncorked, left on the royal table under the flickering torchlight. One night, the torchlight caught a glint of glass, and the poison slipped into the bottle. Tiber never saw it coming. That evening was like any other. They dined together. They toasted. They laughed. If anything, Alaric was warmer than usual, a guilt-laced performance of brotherhood. Tiber drank, smiled, and said, "You've always been the better one at politics, brother." Then he coughed. His eyes widened. He collapsed. The court erupted into chaos. Servants screamed. Guards rushed in. Alaric knelt beside his dying brother, masking horror with concern. He shouted for the physician, his accomplice, who played his role to perfection. "It must be the lamb," he cried. "Spoiled meat. Quick, fetch herbs." But nothing worked. Within minutes, Tiber was gone. The kingdom mourned. Alaric wore black, gave speeches, and shed tears no one questioned. After all, he had lost his only brother. His grief was theatrical, but convincing. And then, silent. No one suspected him. Why would they? The royal brothers were seen as close. Alaric even promised to name a military fort after Tiber, a tribute to his bravery. But some noticed strange details. A servant said the wine tasted off. A courtier recalled Alaric's sudden kindness in the days before Tiber's death. And an old nurse, who'd raised both boys, whispered, "There's something in his eyes. He's too calm." Yet none of it was proof. Alaric had planned it perfectly. No fingerprints, no confession, no trail. Just a dead hero and a new king. But secrets have weight. And though Alaric's crown sat firmly on his head, his nights were no longer quiet. He had the throne. But at what cost? Alaric didn't just plan a murder. He engineered a legend. In the days following Tiber's death, he tightened his grip on the story. Official records were altered. The physician disappeared, sent away on a royal mission that no one ever heard about again. The wine bottle was shattered, its remnants burned. Alaric even paid the kitchen staff to swear they'd served lamb that night, not the roast goose prepared. It worked. On paper, Tiber had died of food poisoning, a tragic accident. The court moved on. The kingdom adjusted. Alaric ruled unopposed, but whispers have a strange way of surviving. Years passed, and the rumors never truly died. In distant taverns and behind palace curtains, people speculated. He didn't cry at the funeral, some said. He promoted the guards on duty that night, others whispered. And then there was the nurse, old, nearly blind, but always muttering, he chose power over blood. Alaric tried to drown those whispers with gold, favors, and fear, but they followed him like ghosts. He ruled well, efficiently. He expanded the kingdom, reformed taxes, and crushed rebellions. But there was no joy, no more brotherly warmth, no laughter in the court, just cold calculation. As the years wore on, Alaric began to fray. He banned wine from the palace, removed all mirrors, reassigned guards weekly. His eyes darted constantly, as if watching for someone no one else could see. He claimed he heard footsteps in the halls at night boots, like Tiber's. He spoke to empty rooms. Once, during a storm, he screamed at the shadows, demanding forgiveness. The guilt hadn't vanished, it had fermented. Would you trade love for power? Would you betray your own blood for a throne? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more chilling true tales.